is Professor Smith. I'll be doing a problem from Chapter 7 on the standard normal random variable advanced. So let Z be a standard normal random variable. Use the calculator provided to determine, you can't see it, it's off the screen, to determine the value of C such that P of Z is less than or equal to Z, P of C is less than or equal to Z is less than or equal to 1.03 is equal to 0.8156. And what I'd like to do is capture what this mathematical equation represents visually. So I'm going to go out to a Word document that I've already done and show you what that represents. So I have here the standard normal curve. I have here a vertical line representing C. C was on the left. And then I have a line at 1.03. And it turns out the area between these two vertical lines, one at C and one at 1.03, underneath the density probability curve, that area underneath the curve is equivalent to finding the probability. And so what we're going to do is use the ALEKS calculator because it has a button that allows us to find area, or the probability, to the left of a particular value of Z. So let's go out to ALEKS so you can see how we can compute this area. This area is actually given to us in the problem, and use that given information to find this C value right here. So let's go back to ALEKS. So when I select the calculator, it turns out when I place my mouse over the calculator, it shows you I want to find the area to the left of C, whatever that C value is. And so in our particular case, if we take the area to the left of the bigger number, so let's go back out to the graph so you can see that. So area to the left of 1.03 would be everything all the way over. Then subtract out the area to the left of C, that'll give us what's in between. So just think, whenever you're having a probability for a standard normal curve and it's a tweener, just think right minus left. So I'm going to go out to the ALEKS calculator and I'm going to compute the probability of the right value, 1.03, minus the probability of the left value. In this particular case, it's C, and ALEKS won't allow me to put in a letter C. But just in your writing, you would write a C here, equals, and it won't let me put equals either, equals that 0.8156. And so what we're going to do is solve this equation for this one with the unknown variables Z less than or equal to C. So let's capture that in Word. So here we have it. I use MathType in Word in order to write out the mathematical equation. So in ALEKS, it had C less than or equal to Z less than or equal to 1.03. We've taken it to the next step. We've taken the rightmost value, 1.03, finding that probability, and then taking the leftmost value, which is C, our unknown, and then equal to what the equation originally gave us, which was 0.8156. So then what we're going to do is we're going to solve our equation for that guy then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract this value. So I'm going to go out to the ALEKS calculator and get that value, carry it to 4 decimal places, and then I can then subtract it from both sides. All right, so let's do the first one, 1.03. Hey! All right, and we get 0.84849, so 0.8485. All right, so we substituted in 0.8485 for the probability that Z is less than 1.03. And if we go out to our graph, let's see, does that really make sense? Well, here's 1.03. And is everything to the left of that equal about 84% of the area underneath the curve? And it looks about right. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 0.8485, and I did that to 4 decimal places because I said to do the intermediate computations to 4 decimal places. And then I'm going to subtract that from 0.8156. Let me make sure that I did capture that value right from the original problem. Yeah, it was 0.8156. Okay, super. So let's go ahead and subtract that from 0.8156. So 0.8156, and then I'm subtracting that value from both sides. the 1.03, the probability that Z is less than 1.03. And when I do that computation to 4 decimal places, I get a negative 0.03289, 0.03289, which would be a 0.0329. All right, and then I would multiply both sides by -1 to get rid of the minus, or divide by -1, and so then I would have the probability that Z is less than C is just equal to positive 0.0389. So what I've done is I've really found that the area underneath the curve to the left of C is this very small value, 0.0329. So let's look at our picture. So my C should have probably been further over. So that means the area to the left of C is 0.03. So I really should move this guy over. So C is more like right here. But in your drawing, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure you put it to on the left because C was on the left-hand side. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, if I know that the area to the left is 0.03, how can I get the C value? Well, there's another button on the ALEKS calculator that allows us to do that. So I already had that 0.0329 already in the ALEKS calculator, but it was negative, so I'm multiplying it by -1 to get rid of the minus sign. All right, so I know that the area to the left of C is equal to this 0.0329, and I said earlier that there is a button on the ALEKS calculator that allows us to find it, and it's the Z box. And if you put your mouse over the Z box, it says, ooh, you know the area to the right? I'll give you the Z score. Well, we don't know the area to the right. We only know the area on the left-hand side. Let's go back out to look at the picture so you can see what I'm talking about. So I know that the area to the left underneath the probability density function is 0.0329. ALEKS says, hey, you give me the area to the right, I can give you the Z score. Or in this particular case, the value of C represented by the Z score. And so what we're going to do is, hey, if I know the area to the left is 0.03, then the area to the right is going to be 0.97 because they're complementary. They're going to add up to 1. So let's go ahead and find the complement by doing 1 minus 0.0329 and then finding the Z score for that. So I'm going to subtract this from 1. So 1 minus that value, and then I'm going to find the Z score. And it turns out the Z score is, the area to the right is 0.9671. So let's write that down. So 1 minus 0 point, I'm having trouble. I was trying to put a 0 in front of the decimal. Is equal to 0.97. Excuse me, 9671. And now I can use the Z box in order to find that. So I'm going to take this guy, because it's the area to the right. And I'm going to do Z box. Z is the box. And there's a little subscript for the books. Tally-ho. And it turns out ALEKS will give me the Z score that tells me, if you give me the area to the right, I'll give you the Z score. And so let's go out to ALEKS and hit that button. And it tells us the Z score is negative 1.83. Oh, I was close. I didn't need to move it. So it's negative 1.839. And they say round your final answer to at least 2. So let's do it to negative 1.84. took too long to do it. But I know we're geniuses and it's right. So anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I hope this movie's of help.